At 17, it was a very good game. We watched the Rangers play the Dodgers at Globe Life Park in Arlington, and they won the game. It was game 17. That's it. That's the end. That's the end of the first verse. Thank you. My name is Frank Sinatra.
Oh, that's who you were going for there, was Frank?
Did you not get it?
I mean, yeah, I got it. No, I got it. It was really good.
Up. It was good. I came up with that on the spot, by the way.
No one is refuting that.
Great, good.
Because if you had put prep into that.
That was good. Acapella, too. No
accompaniment? Yeah.
No accompaniment.
Because the percussion group that's in the back wasn't quite ready for you there.
No.
So I don't even know.
So that was game 17. This is our recap of game 17.
There. That. Yes.
At Globe Life Park in Arlington.
No longer the ballpark in Arlington.
No longer.
Although that's what Twitter was, whatever, doesn't matter. So, first things first, Stanley Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks. Police officer right there. That was awesome.
Okay.
We, right as I did this too, so hopefully that's great for them.
Good.
But awesome. That was we, in fairness, headed to the bar in the 6th or 7th, end of the 6th, to make sure we caught the very end of the game.
Saw the end of the game.
It was very cool. So, very excited about that. And now we can talk about the park. And what did you think of it?
I like the park. People on Twitter seem to be, well, they didn't like that it was closed off. But I didn't mind it. That's good. It's helping. I didn't mind it. I liked it. I liked the architecture.
Well, we'd also mentioned too that, like, yes, so the ballpark, instead of being open in the back, they put structure in the ballpark to prevent you from being able to see out of it. So it does feel claustrophobic, or it does feel closed off. But to your point, I believe, when we were looking, it's like, well, what are you going to look at?
True. Yeah, there's nothing.
We went out there. There's nothing that's really there.
Although what they used to close it off was just like it was an office building. I assume that's where the Rangers had their offices, but
it didn't look like an office building.
No, it didn't.
Which was good. Unlike Petco, which looked like an office building.
Right. But it was not functional for I mean, it was functional for the team, I guess, but not for like fans.
Yeah, agreed. So, yes, that was interesting. So you liked the park. The architecture I thought was very cool. The internal and external architecture was very good. They used a lot of subtlety in what they were doing. So how do you compare it to? I mean, I think there's a Texas rivalry to be had here.
Definitely a Texas rivalry.
Because between Arlington and Houston, I feel like not only were they competing with each other to try to offer us some of the coolest stuff, which, by the way, we'll get to in a little bit, but I also think that their parks were, I don't know, I think they're going to be fairly close in the final tally, I have a feeling. So compare the two, what did you think?
I liked them both a lot. They were so different. It's really hard to compare the two. And I know that the Arlington ballpark was built. Well, I don't want to say the ballpark in Arlington because I know that's not what it's called, but I want to generically talk about the baseball field in Arlington, Texas. So that's what I have to call it. I know that it was built before the park in Houston, so it seemed very much like the Houston park. A lot of the decisions they made architecturally and aesthetically were to be different from the baseball stadium in Arlington.
Globe Life
Ballpark in Arlington. Globe Life Park in Arlington. It's just a mouthful. I don't like saying it all the time.
Huh?
So they clearly made choices to differentiate themselves from the other park in Texas. So it's difficult to compare the two because there weren't a lot of things that were the same, which is great. It made it a totally different experience going to both parks.
If you had a home team, which home team or which ballpark would you prefer your home team played in?
Is it a game at night? Because I think Arlington. If it's a game during the day, I don't want to sit in the Texas heat, 100-degree weather. I'd much rather go to Houston and sit in the AC.
We did get a little lucky today that it wasn't I mean, it was 96 when we got out of the car. It cooled off considerably. There was a wind, there was a breeze, so it wasn't as bad. I mean, in the dog days of summer, that has to be just terrible.
Yeah. Let's kind of jump ahead here. We're driving right now to St. Louis, and I don't know if you can hear. Seems to be a little bit of precipitation in the air.
What are you talking about, Brian? I can't see anything.
Yeah.
No, literally, I can't see anything.
So that has us a little bit worried. Worried enough that we have that contingency plan.
Well, let's just, I mean, while we're on that subject, we have, first of all, we have an 11-hour drive, and we have roughly 13 hours to make it, so there's another tight turnaround. But let's just be honest, this morning, the crazy person inside, the compulsive person inside of Tim said, we need to have a contingency plan, because otherwise, like, what happens if it rains tomorrow? What happens if it rains in Indian Wells? We are in trouble, so we had to come up with something else. But anyway,
This hours of our day coming up with a contingency plan,
which we will be happy about.
Yes.
We'll be happy about if it actually happens.
I think we both feel very at ease about it.
So that's probably what you're hearing in the background.
Yes.
In any case, so you said if it was, so it's all based on the climate, because the fact that Arlington's open and Minute Maid is closed. And so where you'd rather play if you had a home team.
Correct. How about you?
I also agree with you that they were both very different, so it's hard for me to compare the two. I would say that if it was just me, if I wasn't bringing family to the game, if I didn't have kids to entertain.
Sure, you have no family to speak of.
Yes, but I'm not the average anyway. I would say Minute Maid.
Okay.
But it's close. I did like what the architectural choices were in Texas at the ballpark. Okay. I'm going to say that, even though that's not what it's called.
Great.
But I do think that the competition for well, first of all, the state that has treated us the best, there is no competition. It has been Texas. Texas has by far and away the #1 and #2 experiences for Brian and I so far on 30 and 30 for 30.
I can't believe it took us 7.5 minutes to talk about it. We rode in a giant chili dog today, you guys.
It was called the Boomstick.
It is called the Boomstick! It's a 2-foot-long hot dog!
You're so happy about it.
It's huge!
And it contains...
And they gave us one after we rode in it.
Nacho cheese, chili, jalapeno, choice of onion. It is a monstrosity.
Yes.
And we rode... Well, first of all, we should clarify. We rode in a cart that was fashioned after one, and then we ate one afterwards.
True. Yeah.
Very, very clear differentiation.
Yeah, they drove us around the park, like the track. They drove us around the track. We got to wave to people like we were Miss America.
Put us on the jumbo and everything.
Or any famous person.
Were you as nervous being on the jumbo this time as you were in Oakland?
No, because there was no bacon riding on it. Yeah.
No. No. It was the bacon. It wasn't
the pressure of getting a trivia question right for bacon.
Okay. It wasn't the fact you had to speak on camera. It instead was just...
I am great on camera, as these videos can show.
Attest to?
Attest to.
Okay.
No, I don't end my sentences with prepositions.
So you just don't end your sentences, apparently.
Yeah.
What else did we do today? It wasn't just the ride around the ballpark, and then they gave us a boomstick.
That was.
We finished the boomstick, so this ride should be.
We ate the boomstick.
Should be arguably. I mean, it could get dicey here.
Yeah.
In a little bit, we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, no, I think both ballparks that were in Texas really took care of us. It was awesome. We want to thank Chad and Michelle and everybody. I mean, Chuck, the Jumbotron guy, because they put us on the Jumbotron again after the fact that we had already rode around the ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to thank all those guys. They were all really great.
Super nice.
But we heard train whistles.
There were train whistles.
I feel like we need to talk about trains.
Well, there's only 15 seconds left, so we're not going to talk about trains.
Okay.
So, train discussion another time.
Glad the rain.
It's a continuing conversation we have all the time. It's just not in these videos. I'm sorry, guys.
Glad the rain derailed us.
That was a terrible joke, but yes. See you tomorrow.